Nearly 500,000 civilians were rescued from Manhattan by boat.
If I do it and I succeed, better for me.
Hi and welcome back. So you told me I should check out the Untold Tale of 9/11 Resilience Boatlift. I don't know really what this is about. Of course, I know 9/11, a very, very tragic event. Especially, I think it hurt a lot. People, I think over 3,000 or so died. Yeah, and I'm very curious about what this Untold Tale is. So I really look forward to that. So let's get right into it. But before we do, please make sure, if you like the content, only if you like the content, then make sure to hit a like on this video and a subscribe. It would help me so much. Thank you so much for that. And let's go into the reaction. A hero is a man who does what he can. Wow. That's a quite
I thought I was
strong,
watching a movie.
That's a quite strong quote, I have to say.
Towering Inferno at first. And then I looked real close, and I noticed it was the World Trade Center. I was compelled because I'm a type of person that can't stand by and watch other people suffer. And to me, they were suffering. They wanted to get off the island. And there was no way for them to get off the island other than the water. And I had noticed when I was watching the television, I saw a lot of, the ferries going up into the slips and taking people off. I said, fine, we could do the same thing. Mm-hmm. I could take people on my boat, get in there, take them where they have to go. And that's what we did.
On the morning of September 11th, when the towers came down, millions of people ran for safety. Mm-hmm. Hundreds of thousands of them ran south to the water's edge. That's when they realized that Manhattan is indeed an island and that they were trapped.
Nobody can stop.
What a courageous man. Because you don't know. I mean, there were, I think, also attacks about on the Pentagon, right? There were more attacks than just those two. So you don't know if one will happen again or not.
Stop me right now. Even if I save one person or I rescue one person, that's one person less that will suffer and die.
Oh, the kids must be so traumatized. No.
They were trying to evacuate Manhattan because nobody knew what was going on. You didn't know something else was going to happen. It was just, a madness on one side and wanting to help people on the other side.
They were just streaming out of the buildings, and the first mode of transportation they saw was a ferry boat. That's when they knew, this is how I'm getting out of here. They didn't even care where the boat was going.
There wasn't panic in New York in the beginning, just volume. It wasn't until the first building fell that there was panic.
You heard the building go down, but we're in the slip, so we can't see it. That's when we started letting go, and then all of a sudden, engulfed. You couldn't see anything.
People were actually jumping into the river and swimming out of Manhattan. Boats were very nearly running them over.
These people wanted out of Manhattan no matter any way they could.
Somebody wants you to go over there.
every mode of transportation out of Manhattan was shut down. All the subways were shut. Tunnels were all closed. They closed the bridges. They closed everything immediately.
Boats, usually an afterthought in most New Yorkers' minds, were for the first time in over a century the only way in or out of Lower Manhattan.
I think subways were probably also not safe, right? Please hit like and subscribe. It would help me so much. Thank you. Cars, of course not.
The process actually had already started. There were some boats that were grabbing people, that people were lined up at the walls.
On the left.
It's just human nature. You see people in distress on the seawall in Manhattan begging you to pick them up. You have to pick them up.
They didn't know what was going on. They seen the building getting hit with these two planes. As far as they was concerned, you know, we were being bombed. I was wondering if they were going to come on the boat, if they had people with bombs, or if they were going to come on. We're a big orange target in the middle of that harbor. My job is to keep the boat safe, my passengers safe, my crew safe.
Everybody was in shock, running around. They didn't want to leave their families. They had loved ones running around the city.
Everybody has a baby! Nobody has it!
There was one guy ran from the apron and jumped onto the boat. He grabbed onto the metal, climbed up right next to the pilot. So I'm going out there to say something. He slides down to the next deck. So the deckhands get him and go, what are you doing? He goes, I'm jumping for my life. So, you couldn't argue with him there.
There was a small boat that was at the lower tip of Manhattan. I thought the boat was going to flip over because so many people were trying to get on. And as I looked behind, they were just 10 deep. And that's kind of what gave us the idea.
We decided that this has to get better organized and we better do it, and that's what we did.
So we decided to make the call on the radio.
Nice.
All available boats. This is the United States Coast Guard aboard the pilot boat, New York.
Nice. Wow. Sorry for not commentating too much, but I'm totally blown away by the video, but also of course by the content of the video, which is just a very horrible thing that happened. I mean, of course there happened so many horrible things in human history, but that is also one of them. And yeah, it's just incredible how the people can be so selfless and help others and maybe go in there again, go back there, although they are maybe, I don't know, what is the other side of Manhattan, Brooklyn? I don't know, probably. Are already safe in Brooklyn and go back there. You don't know what happens again. Maybe now a plane crashes into the river or into the sea there. You don't know, right? Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Anyone want to help with the evacuation of Lower Manhattan? Report to Governor's Island.
When that call came on the radio, they were coming.
I was uncertain of who was going to respond. About 15, 20 minutes later, there were just boats all across the horizon.
Literally 100 targets converging on the lower part of
Oh, that's
Manhattan.
so cool.
When we came out of that
So
dust
cool.
cloud, tugboats. I've never seen so many tugboats all at once.
That is so cool. Look at all those people that are going and helping and risking something. In the end, nothing happened, right? But they didn't know that. Oh, that's so cool.
It's like a fleet of tugboats headed to Manhattan.
If it floated and it could get there, it got there. All different size, shapes, and forms. I mean, and they were zooming across this water.
Ferries, private boats, party boats.
Party
I worked on the
boats.
water for 28 years. I've never seen that many boats come together at one time that fast.
Look at that. Look at that.
Years. I've never seen that many boats.
You can't even see the other skyscrapers. You can't even see that. Look at that. Here, you see only the shadows of the buildings. Oh my God. That must feel so eerie to drive towards this thing.
Come together at one time that fast. One radio call and it just came together just that fast.
Hundreds of boats converged on the city, leaving the sun-bathed harbor behind them. Dead ahead, the unknown.
That was something I won't forget. It was just low, dark, acrid, black smoke. It's like there was a big chimney in Manhattan. When we pulled into Pier 11, the dust was unbelievable.
And then out of nowhere, you just kept on seeing people coming.
They looked like zombies coming through the fog, and you knew that those were human beings.
Don't leave us. Please don't leave us here. Take us. At that point, the Coast Guard said, not how many people are you allowed, how many people can you fit?
Come on, guys. Anybody coming? Get your ass over here now. Now. Come on.
Boats started hanging. Literally would take a bed sheet off a bunk and a can of spray paint and paint their destination on.
Some of these people never been in the water, never been on a boat before.
Housewives.
Is it uncommon to be on boats in the US? Why have many people? I think everybody in Germany has ever been on a boat. I think, or I at least assume.
Workers that do windows. We had executives. And the thing that was the best, everyone helped everyone.
I want you to hold my hand. Come on board. Get inside. One at a time. Get inside. Got you.
I saw 4 businessmen lifting up an old woman with a seeing eye dog, a German Shepherd, and they lifted her up like a surfboard and passed her over the handrails.
When we would carry a load of people over, and there was somebody standing there that seen their husband or wife, you know, that made us feel even better, you know. Well, at least we got 2 back together, you know. Keep on going, you know.
The guy that works at the ferry, he's a welder. His son was on my boat. He actually came up. He thanked me.
We went back and forth all day long, carrying boatloads, as many as our boat would hold. And it's a lot of people. A lot of people.
You couldn't have planned nothing to happen that fast, that quick.
No training. This was just people doing what they had to do that day.
You forget all about what you're supposed to do, what they teach you in school, and you say, you know what? Morally, this is the right way to go, and deep down, this is what I'm gonna do.
Average people, they stepped up, and when they needed to, they showed me, you know, when the American people need to come together and pull together, they will do it.
I do feel a way honored that I was a part of it.
It was the greatest thing I ever did with my life.
The greatest day that I've ever seen in all my...
What those people do, how much honor they have, that they say, you know, that must be an amazing feeling to help people. I mean, of course, I have helped people myself in my life, but, you know, to do that, I've never have helped something, I think, to not die. And that is just probably, and, you know, they risked something, and that is just incredible.
My boating, I mean, my life on the water.
The Great Boat Lift of 9/11 became the largest sea evacuation in history. Larger than the evacuation of Dunkirk in World War II, where 339,000 British and French soldiers were rescued over the course of 9 days. On 9/11, nearly 500,000 civilians were rescued from Manhattan by boat.
Wow.
It took less than 9 hours.
I believe somebody has a little hero in them. You gotta look in, and it's in there. It'll come out if need to be.
I have one theory in life. I never want to say the word I should have. If I do it and I fail, I tried. If I do it and I succeed, better for me. And I tell my children the same thing. Never go through life saying you should have.
well, I have to say I'm always blown away by how courageous people are. I hope I would be the same in the same situations. Of course I could now say here, yes, I totally am and I totally will be, but but I don't know. I have fortunately never been in the situation. Although I can say we had something like a house burned down, stuff like this. When I'm in something like this, I'm always very rational, and I would probably do that. And I hope that, because I have so much just positive feelings for those people that do that, and yeah, it's just absolutely incredible. Yeah, in general, you can just say, okay, yeah, I spent my day. I maybe had nothing better to do, but that is something different. That is something where you go back to something where, the smoke, like the dust, that is also not too good for your lung if there's gas in your lung and stuff like this. So although didn't something happen, anymore, which they didn't know, it's as well not so great for their health. They risk their health to get other people out faster, so they have more health and not dying, potentially dying. As I said, they didn't know that there's not a third plane coming to New York. And yeah, that is absolutely courageous. I have to say in general that I'm fascinated by those tragedies. Not in a wow way, but in a wow. Their life turned upside down without them even noticing. Something like Titanic, something like, I don't know, something like 9/11. There are probably way more examples that we can list there. Something like the space shuttles, something like that. It always makes me so curious about what happened. Why did this happen? What were the people in the situation, and what did they have to go through with that? And to hear people help other people, to that less people get endangered or get injured, have health issues after that, have potentially died because I don't know, maybe something was falling down again or something like this. Is absolutely incredible. And sorry. And yeah, it just speaks for the people, speaks for that when shit is happening, that people stay together, and that is really, really cool. Yeah, maybe tell me if I should react to more of those hero stories. I really like them. You see that I cried like a Schlosshund, as we would say in German, so like a castle dog. Doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I get a headache now because of crying. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, tell me what I should react to next. Keep liking and subscribing, and we see each other in the next video. Bye.